Honolulu. For all of Hawaii, this is KITV4 Island News Midday.
A multi-million-dollar project to protect Diamond Head from rockfall and erosion continues today. More on roadways impacted by the project. Plus, potential renters across the country are getting scammed. How you can protect yourself while looking for a home straight ahead. And mahalo for tuning in to KITV4's Island News Midday on this Monday, December 16th. I'm Lindsey Fukano. We do have some breaking news to report to you off the top of the show. Police have closed down all lanes at King and Middle Street to investigate an officer-involved shooting. We'll have a live crew on the scene, and KITV4 will bring you a live report later on in the newscast. Well, residents of Makiki are mourning the loss of a 71-year-old woman shot and killed in front of her home. And neighbors who identified the victim as Gloria recalled her kind and generous personality. And more than 50 people attended a 2-hour candlelight vigil outside of the apartment on Green Street. And that's where Gloria was shot on Saturday. Neighbors tell KITV4 that she was retired and lived there for 30 years. They say she was always walking outside and going for walks, sweeping in the parking lot, and chatting with everyone.
Warm, passionate, giving, always giving things, you know. And sometimes I might go to the store and she don't know I left. Then she calls me up and asks me, are you home? I said, no, I'm not. She said, well, you better get home because I got something by your door for you.
Police records show the alleged shooter was 74-year-old Ernest Romero, a neighbor of Gloria's. Police say he turned himself in and was arrested for first-degree murder. A Naval Air Museum that celebrated Hawaii's war history at Barbers Point is getting ready to move out of its home for good. They received an eviction notice from the Department of Transportation more than 5 weeks ago. DOT noted that the facility lacked insurance and failed to address environmental issues like oil spills and leaks. But the museum denies those claims. Executive Director and co-founder Brad Hayes says he's removed about 40% of the items from the museum and expects to be out by the end of the year. Well, a recent study from the Better Business Bureau shows rental scams are on the rise nationwide. And the BBB says that scammers can trick consumers by copying photos and descriptions of homes and then reposting them online and asking for a deposit. Some also pose as fake businesses, charging for online catalogs of homes, or they ask potential tenants for a credit check and for automatic payment.
We have to keep them aware that it is there. These scams are getting far more sophisticated. It's not as easy to spot as it used to be. And because they can make so much money from it, they will continue to do it.
Now, the Better Business Bureau does suggest that renters Google the owner's name to see if it matches the home address. Never pay online or through the mail. Honolulu Mayor Kirk Caldwell signs one of the strictest plastic bag bans in the country into law Sunday. Bill 40 bans most plastic takeout containers and utensils in Oahu restaurants. And most food manufacturers and restaurant owners say the bill is unfair for local businesses in our local economy. The signing on Magic Island marks a major victory for environmental groups who say they want sustainable solutions to the rising problems of plastic waste and fossil fuel dependence on Oahu.
And I believe that the passage of Bill 40 is what we need to create a movement that's going to make a difference, that's going to protect not only our beaches, but the health and this land, this beautiful land that we call home for future generations to come.
Now, the law follows similar plastic bans on Kauai, Maui, and the Big Island. Restrictions on plastic will be phased in starting in 2021, and businesses have until January 1st of 2022 to comply with the full ban. Well, a multi-million-dollar project to prevent rock slides and erosion near Diamond Head continues on today. The city's Department of Parks and Rec started phase 2 of its Rockfall Mitigation project. Now the work is taking place on the Kuilei Cliffs between Diamond Head Road and Beach Road, and that's on the Mackay side of the crater. Beach Road will be mostly blocked to traffic, but pedestrians can still walk through to the beach. Now, residents had mixed feelings about phase 1 of the project.
It seems like they did a really amazing job of, preparing the area for the path, but it also seems like maybe it could be wider for emergency responders. Like, I don't think anybody could get a vehicle, even a small vehicle down here if they had to extract somebody that had a neck or, back injury.
KITV4 reached out to the city about the walkway, and we'll let you know when we do hear back. In the meantime, phase 2 of the project is expected to be complete by February of 2020. Let's turn now to our local weather. Going to take a live look at Hilo Bay right now from our Hilo Hawaiian Hotel camera. Tasia Worley's in with a look at the forecast today. Tasia. All right, Tasia, thank you. Well, take a look at this. This is new video of the fire that broke out at an abandoned home in Kalihi Sunday night. And the video was sent in by a resident on Iao Lane who called 911. Honolulu firefighters say the fire started around 9:20 that night, and firefighters were able to extinguish it about 20 minutes later. Parts of the roof caved in, and there was a down power line in the area. HFD says squatters live in the home, but no injuries were reported. The exact cause of the fire is still under investigation. A 31-year-old man is in critical condition after crashing his motorcycle in Kunia. It happened around 5 Sunday afternoon, and Honolulu police say the man lost control of his bike on the H1 freeway westbound on-ramp and landed in the brush. He was not wearing a helmet at the time, and HPD reports alcohol may have been involved. The Honolulu Medical Examiner's Office have identified the woman killed in a car crash near Turtle Bay as 69-year-old Aldana Sorn Kondo of Laie. And police say her car was hit head-on by a truck that crossed the center line. She was taken to the hospital in critical condition, where she later died. This is the 49th traffic fatality on Oahu this year, compared to 60 at this time last year. Well, it's a devastating disease that affects about 100 people in Hawaii. ALS, or Lou Gehrig's disease, affects the nerve cells in the brain and spinal cord so that people lose control of their muscles. One Waikele woman battling this incurable condition vows to KITV4's Diana Ako she'll fight to keep herself and others with ALS aging well. Still to come, if you haven't shipped your packages in time for Christmas, well, you better hurry. More on the deadline to get those packages out straight ahead. And we've heard of texting and driving, but what about shopping while driving? We'll tell you the surprising amount of Americans that admit to doing this. Coming up on KITV4. Stay with us.
Midday.
Welcome back. Dr. Google is in the house, and users flooded the search engine with their most burning health questions in 2019. And in today's Health Minute, Meredith Wood brings you the first half of the 10 most asked questions for this year.
KITV4 Island News Medical Minute, sponsored by Ekahi Wellness.
In 2019, there was a wide variety of
Island News Midday's Money Matters, brought to you by Hamada Financial Group.
Well, just a reminder, if you want to send gifts to the mainland, the U.S. Postal Service says you have until Thursday, December 19th, if you want them to make it out in time for Christmas. Now, if you're willing to spend more for Priority Express, you have until December 21st. And today marks the deadline for shipping holiday packages via FedEx, unless you want to dish out some extra cash to get your packages there before Christmas. FedEx says customers have until today to use its ground and home delivery service. Now, the deadline for the U.S. Postal Service, as we mentioned, is the 19th. But Amazon Prime members have access to free one-day delivery through the 23rd. 39% of Americans shop while driving during the holidays, and that's just the number who admit to doing it. Root Insurance says that a deal hunting culture, combined with over 3/4 of Americans making regular purchases on mobile devices, may have contributed to this dangerous driving behavior. And local businesses are popping up in Aloha Tower Marketplace. Hina Hawaii, Italian Ice, and Tea-Espresso, well, they're all opening in December. And the retail merchants of Hawaii President Tina Yamaki says successful online businesses are in a good spot for open brick and mortar shops. And Kanani Miner, founder of clothing brand Hina Hawaii, said that she started her store online 7 years ago and told us Aloha Tower Marketplace reached out to her to open a shop. Miner says each aspect of her clothing, from design to production, is local. And while that presents some challenges, the future is looking bright with her new shop. Online learning is helping students save a lot of money, and that's according to the University of Hawaii Community College. Its students statewide have saved almost $5.6 million in textbook costs since 2015. Education experts say the average cost of one textbook is between $200 to $400. A UH initiative develops and provides free or cheap online learning materials, and in addition to helping students' budgets, it also gives faculty more control over their course materials. Leeward Community College is the biggest user of online books. Well, the U.S. Trade Representative says phase 1 of a trade deal with China is totally done and will double exports to China in 2 years. And China agreed to billions of dollars in agricultural purchases from the United States, while President Trump vowed not to pursue a new round of tariffs set for Sunday. And we'll go ahead and take a look at the closing board for the Dow Jones Industrial. You could see it did close up by over 100 points today. That means it's up by 0.36%. Still to come, a malnourished dog wanders into a home and stays there forever. And dozens of people are auditioning for the Founding Fathers, but it's not for Hamilton. What the auditions are for, still to come on KITV4. Stay with us. All right, Tasia, thank you. We go back to that breaking news we mentioned at the top of the hour. Police have closed down all lanes at King and Middle Street to investigate an officer-involved shooting. KITV4's Annalisa Burgos is live at the scene. Annalisa, what can you tell us so far?
Well, Lindsay, everything is still under investigation. It's an active crime scene, so we're not being allowed near there. But again, we are at the corner of Umi and King Street. As you said, they did close it off. We spoke to several witnesses that have been in this area, including people that were in the building at New City Nissan. They told me that the suspect actually ran in to the floor area, perhaps trying to evade police. They said that it perhaps started whatever this police chase that they witnessed started before they arrived here. The suspect ran in. Their shots were fired and exchanged between the suspect and police that were in pursuit. They said that their co-workers were dodging, trying to hide. One stray bullet almost hit one worker's head. Really scary experience for the people that were in there, but they were able to catch the suspect, and now he is the one that's believed to be in critical condition in the hospital. He was injured. According to another witness, they said they shot him in the leg and then continued to pursue him until he was arrested and taken to the hospital. We saw the EMS leave a few, like at least about an hour ago. So again, we're just still talking to witnesses, seeing what happened. This one witness actually told us what happened before the chaos ensued. He said that he saw that there was traffic being diverted. Let's listen to him. His name is Joe Kingston.
I was walking around, they called me to say your car's ready. So I was walking back and I saw this guy at the top of the off-ramp, and he had his car off and the hazards on. And he was running around, he looked agitated, and he was telling people just go around his car. And so I just thought his car was, broken down. So I didn't think much of it. And then tons of cops just started converging right there, so it looked like something. And by the time I got over here, then they were closing off the road, and the cop, well, I asked the cop, can I cross the street, to get to Nissan? And he said, cannot cross the street, and cars cannot go up there anyway, so.
So he's one of several people that are trying to get into the Nissan to get their vehicles. As you know, it's open at this time. So we'll be continue to follow the story, give you the latest as they become available. For now, we'll send it back to you, Lindsay.
Annalisa, thank you. Stay with KITV4 as we'll bring you the very latest on this officer-involved shooting at New City Nissan. We'll have much more to come on KITV4's Island News Midday. Stay with us.
Kimo, our wedding day was so special.
Yeah,